Hello. Good morning, Dawgpound South campers. This is the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. I'm your host, Steve Gill. Victory Friday. Pretty improbable. But, if you looked at the statistics, you probably felt pretty confident the Browns could win. Going into this game, Mike Tomlin was 1-7 on Thursday, now 1-8. 0-7 against divisional teams, now 0-8. And 0-3, 0-3 against 0-2 against the Browns, now 0-3. If you look at Kevin Stefanski going into this game, 4-0 on Thursday nights, now 5-0. I believe they have won, going into this game, they had won their last 8 straight, now 9 straight, and we're 11-2, now 12-2 over their last 14 games. So, pretty good indicator. First of all, let's talk about the Browns. Defense came out fired up. Myles Garrett, 3 sacks in the first half, strip sack. I was really worried about the Warren kid, the running back from Pittsburgh, because he killed us the last 2 times, especially the last time we played him. But after an initial long run, took care of him. Najee Harris kept him in check. And then they bring in Justin Fields, rips off a 30-yarder. But then after that, he turns into Justin Fields, someone who loses a game against the Browns in Cleveland, like he's done the last 2 times when he's the Bears. Nothing against Justin Fields. I enjoyed him as an Ohio State quarterback, but now he plays for the Steelers, and I don't like it. That's the way things work in my mind. Kevin Stefanski let Ken Dorsey call a good game. You got to see the ups and downs of Jameis Winston. Everyone in Cleveland talks about prior to this game, he'll win you one, lose you one, win you one. And that's what he's done so far. He he'll look good, look bad, look good. He looked good against Baltimore, looked bad against the Chargers. And he still, even though they won, they lost. It wasn't his fault against the Saints. I mean, they were 14-14 at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and he played very well. So, and you kind of got this during the game. He first came out, didn't look that hot, but then against Pittsburgh's defense is a very, very good defense. This defense is really good, even without Alex Highsmith. Very good defense. But I'm really happy to see Ken Dorsey adjust. First couple drives stunk. Didn't go anywhere. Didn't get a first down. Third drive, all of a sudden, boom, 80 yards. And he changed it up. He adjusted to the Pittsburgh defense. And that was good, Jameson. So then in the third quarter, Pittsburgh adjusted their defense. And then he got bad Jameson. He dropped the ball in the fourth quarter, threw an interception. But at the end of the game, good Jameson. And then Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz, I know they gave up some long plays. And I still don't know where the communication process is failing. I liked near the end of the game that the Browns called a couple timeouts, and you could see Jim Schwartz, if you were watching on TV, Jim Schwartz was yelling at his defenders, yelling at them. He wanted to make sure they understood the situation. I'd like to see them with that kind of concentration during the whole game. Greg Newsome, I tell you, he left Grant Delpit and Juan Thornhill on an island a couple times. And these fast receivers in the NFL, you can't put, I don't care what kind of athlete Grant Delpit is. You just can't leave your safeties one-on-one with wide receivers. And he got there late at that last touchdown. Where was he? I don't know. So, all in all, though, great game. Kevin Stefanski, good management. They still had a few killing penalties, but if you look, all in all, I think Kirk Herbstreit had it right. The offensive line played well. Jack Conklin. I'm sorry, Jack Conklin against TJ Watt, since he's been a Brown. Watt has only had, going into this game, only had 1 sack and 6 pressures. Jack Conklin as the right tackle of the Cleveland Browns. So I was not worried about TJ Watt. Sure, he stuffed a run. Yeah, he got Nick Chubb, but Nick Chubb isn't Nick Chubb right now. Nick Chubb, you can see the vision. You can see what he wants to do. There was one run where he got tackled around the ankles from behind. If that was last year's Nick Chubb or any other year's Nick Chubb, that guy would have not even come close. He would have whiffed, and Chubb would have scored. His burst is not there, but it will be there next year. Believe me, once the guy goes through this the following year, he's healthy. So I'm very happy. I don't know what happens to Mike Tomlin on Thursday night games against division rivals. He makes the word for the best coach in the AFC North. And he is longest tenured coach in the NFL. Never had a losing season. But man, he makes some of the dumbest decisions I've ever seen. I mean, some of those 4th down and inches calls, everybody knows Justin Fields is going to run the ball. If he threw it, Steelers probably would have scored a touchdown and that game would have been over. And then the penalty at the end, the illegal touching, I don't get why it was a grounding, but I can see why it wasn't a grounding, because yes, he was throwing the motion ball. You don't know where the ball was headed, so you can't really call it an intentional grounding unless the ball gets past the line of scrimmage or near a wide receiver. But so it's 4th and 2. He lets the Browns get 2. He changes it once, twice, 3 times a penalty, and it's now 3rd and 7. The Browns are going to go for it. If they don't make it on 3rd and 7, they're going to go for it on 4. You gave them 2 opportunities to get a first down and score and beat your ass. Now, what kind of brilliant head coach does that? Then it must be Thursday nights against divisional rivals, because that's the only explanation. I mean, that was dumb. I've seen him do other dumb. One time on a Thursday night, he decided to punt instead of go for it. Browns won the game. So I don't know. Let's take a break, and we'll come back and talk a little bit about the weather and what Browns fans are saying today and what national pundits said before the game. Okay, I understand. This is a fun game to watch on TV. Snow globe, everybody's referencing, everybody, this is why we don't need to know. When's the last time this kind of weather happened where it was fun to sit and watch? Now, I'm not talking about the grapple game. I'm not talking about where the game against Cincinnati where it just opened up and poured on the first game of the season for the entirety of the game, and that's the only place it rained, and everybody was uncomfortable, and everybody was miserable, and everybody was complaining about it. What, 2017 years ago? 17 years ago is when they had a game like this. So once every 17 years, everybody's going to say, I wish we didn't have a dome. I'll take it. I'm sorry. This dome is going to happen no matter what you complain about. And if you go, well, I'm not going to buy season tickets, there are 7 to 10 people behind you who will take your season tickets. Dome's going to happen. I heard a lot of national media prior to the game talking about of course they were, because the Browns were playing that night and they were 2-8, and talking about how Kevin Stefanski on the hot seat. None of them said he was. All of them said, I don't understand. You've got Ross Tucker, his great quote. Kevin Stan, talking about his discipline and consistency. And he didn't forget to take his discipline pill. Adam Scheffner, he's hearing that there's nothing to it. Rappaport, same thing. See, these guys, they don't understand this fixation that Browns fans have to dysfunction. I don't get it either. You want consistency. They've got a good foundation. They're going to fix this thing. Like I said Wednesday night, I'm hearing the way the ownership and inside that building is totally different than what all the media is talking about. I mean, let it go. Unless something catastrophic happens. Like they go out and lose 80-0 their next 7 games, average score, and that's not going to happen. You could see the defense play with a little more pride last night. So forget about it. They're bringing back Stefanski and Berry. They're going to give them the opportunity to fix this mess. And this mess all starts with number 4. And right now, Andrew Berry is your best choice to fix what's going on with Andrew Berry, with Deshaun Watson. So get that out of your mind. I saw they put Mike Vrabel on the TV last night, of course. I wonder how everybody's going to talk about that now that they won. And Kevin Stefanski, I don't know if it was because it was Thursday night or because Mike Tomlin makes stupid mistakes on Thursday night, but he coached well. I'll give him props. He let Ken Dorsey call the game. He got in some players' faces I saw on TV that were making mistakes. Like I said, the offensive line did very well. We had a Mo Hurst sighting. Excellent job by Mo Hurst. These guys, they have not given up. I saw somebody post something that they thought the players gave up on Kevin Stefanski during the game. What? Come on. If you have an agenda, forget about it. It's not going to happen. All right. So we'll talk more about the whole Mike Vrabel taking over Kevin Stefanski. I saw somebody hypothesize that maybe Vrabel will be taking over for Jim Schwartz. I proposed that on Wednesday night, but we'll see. So that's it for today. Everybody enjoy your Victory Friday. It's sweet and it's good. I didn't wake up in the middle of the night with sweats and terrors like I usually do during a Brown season. I thought that was an excellent win. That was a very good team win. Even though it started out bad, the punter shanking a punt, but then the big Steelers special teams were supposed to be the best in the world. Their field goal kicker misses a kick. And then when they need a punt, the guy shanks it, set up the final winning touchdown. All right? See? Weird things happen. But as always, I'm always a Browns fan, and I'll always be a Browns fan. So this has been the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. As always, we thank you for subscribing, following, listening, and watching. And, we're Browns fans just like you. So everybody have a great day and go Browns.